Welcome, Nia. Making some wonton soup. So yesterday, somebody asked me, actually this morning, somebody asked me how to assess risk. So for risk, hello Peggy, welcome. The more risk there is, the more return there's gonna be. But obviously at the same time, you don't want to risk everything. If you risk everything, then you have nothing, you don't have any more, to risk. For example, let's say if you're gonna put money into a cryptocurrency, right? Because there's a lot of risk in cryptocurrency and you have no control whether you're gonna lose all the money or not. So if you're gonna invest in cryptocurrency, you probably do not want to invest everything, put everything in cryptocurrency. Maybe 10% of your net worth. So that if the cryptocurrency, if you make a lot of money in it, then you still have the chance to get that upside. Let's say in case if you lose everything, then it's only 10% of your net worth. Hello, Kimberly. Hello, Mister. So a lot of people kept from doing something in their life because they have all this idea about a risk. But a lot of times the risk or the fear is just fear in itself. So like this, hello V baby, welcome Daniel. Just like I made another video about taking risk, about real fear versus fake fear. So a lot of times the fear is fake. One of the most common fake fear. Oh, Brush Michael, you're coming to Orange County Saturday. Welcome. A lot of times, people have this fake fear. For example, if you're doing something for the first time, that's a fake fear. There's really the risk is not more. It's just that you don't know the risk too well. You don't know something because you're doing it for the first time, so you feel like it's more risk. Hey, good morning from New Zealand, wee baby. For the wonton, for the noodles, I didn't usually put any sauce. Sometimes I put this sauce. This is the oyster sauce. Sometimes I put this sauce, oyster sauce. But sometimes I don't put any sauce. I just put in the dry shrimp and the dry scallop. That's gonna make the noodles taste good. So today I'm not cooking the soup noodle. Today I'm just cooking the wonton. For the noodles, either you can put sauce inside or you can put add the like dry seafood. When you add the dry seafood, then you don't need to put any sauce. I think the wonton is ready. So when you look at some risk, like this one time somebody was telling me, okay, so I was teaching a class this morning about getting listings. She was asking me, should I sign the listing or not? I said, I gave her 3 scenarios. I think the best option is she signed the listing, she get the home sold. That way, she's not wasting her time. The second best option is you sign the listing, the home is not sold. You didn't make any money, but you still get some free advertisement. The next option is you don't sign the listings and the home is not sold. No, you don't sign the listing and you're still helping the seller. That's not a good option because over there you're not making any money and you're wasting your time. So basically, when you're assessing the risk, you just gonna look at what's the what you might possibly lose, right? What may be as risk that you're gonna have to. I'm hungry, so let me eat something first. I cannot talk right. Let me eat the wonton soup first. Haven't had breakfast. I'm cooking wonton. You're hungry. You're at the lunch break. La Flaquita. Just do it as you learn as you go. Some guy. Janice, good morning. We baby. Yeah, I had somebody was calling me, so that's why there's a lag. Nima from Belgium. Stockton, welcome. So a lot of times people, so like what some guy is saying, right? There's no real risk if you just go do it. So a lot of times the risk is just perceived risk. People don't do it. They just kept thinking, should I do it? They kept thinking, should I do it? But until you do it, you're not gonna know, how to proceed. You're not gonna know what kind of risk there is. Let me eat something first. I'm getting dizzy. Haven't eaten. For example, when I was younger, I tried many different jobs. As long as you can restart again, there's no risk in it. You're just risking some time. Sometimes if you have time, if you're younger, if you're doing something that's worthwhile, even if you lose some money, that's okay. Obviously, the older you get, the less risk tolerant you are, right? Because you don't have the time to make more money anymore. So that's why you want to take as much risk as early as possible. Thank you for the compliment, La Cafita. This wonton tastes a little bit funny. It's got too much pork inside. I like the other wonton better. It has more shrimp, more celery. Doesn't have much pork. Today the wonton today has too much pork inside. Let me eat some wonton first. Getting dizzy. I just did a training session. It's called a 10 listings in 10 weeks challenge. Hello, Sugar Bill. I'm eating a wonton. I bought it from the market. Just boil the water and cook it in the boiled water. Sugar Bear, where are you from? We're from California. Where in California are you from? I'm in California too. Moon over you, welcome. Yeah, it's easy to cook. You just boil the water and then put it in the boiled water and let it cook for a couple minutes. Long Beach, okay. Usually I just eat at home for breakfast. Usually for lunch or dinner I eat one meal outside. Welcome, RSM. La Faquita, what do you do? What do you do for your job? Yeah, they have the wonton soup for sale in Costco. They also have it for sale in some of the Asian market, like a Hong Kong supermarket, 99 Ranch supermarket, Sun Fat market. In Costco, they sell the wonton noodle ball. Wonton noodle ball. It comes in a ball. It has wonton inside and it has noodles inside. It's really good. But that one, I think that one's more costly. That one's about $2 to $3 a ball. This one, it comes in the bag. It's I think there's like maybe 24 to 30 pieces, depending on how many pieces you eat. If you eat 10 pieces at a time, then you can eat 3 meals. Okay, Goodwill. Goodwill is awesome. This one time I bought something from Goodwill for like $1. You guys have this like a weekly promotion, right? $1 a day or something. Last time I bought a nice board with a word on it. I don't know how you call it, but yeah, I got it. The sticker price is $8, but I only paid $1. Anything you guys want to talk about today? Hello, Deborah, welcome. We can talk about real estate. We can talk about finances. We can talk about career planning, how to get deals, how to get money. So by the way, yesterday I reported my credit card damaged. So they're going to send me a new credit card because I have a whole bunch of charges on my card. I want to reduce my expenses. So I'm going to cut off a lot of those subscriptions. So instead of calling the companies one by one to cancel, I just report my credit card lost and I get a new credit card. That's the easiest way to eliminate expenses. Jonah Beer. How to dispute collection. Okay. NGA. Can you elaborate a little bit more? What's the problem? What kind of collection? Sugar beer, yes. Medical collection. Did you get the treatment? Did the insurance not pay for it, or what's the situation? Feeling much better now. Just 5 minutes ago, I was getting dizzy. Didn't eat the breakfast. Chandani, welcome. Pay 1217, welcome. Is that your birthday? 1217, December 17th? So for the collection, great, you're a Sagittarius, right? December 17th? I used to have some collection before when I was younger, and I didn't pay it off. It was only like $200. Because I didn't pay it off, it affected my credit a lot. So I would say, if you have a collection, if it's not a lot of money, just pay for it, because it's not worth it to go through the trouble, because it's gonna affect your credit. If it's a lot of money, then you want to try to mitigate, negotiate the amount. For example, let's say if you owe $1,000, maybe you can negotiate it to $500 and then pay the $500. You must resolve the issue. If you do not resolve the collection issue, it's going to affect your credit. It wasn't as expensive as I thought it would be on some of them. Zachary, what are you talking about? Okay, you did a local search for commercial property today. Okay, great, yeah. Commercial property is actually cheaper than residential property. In most cities in America. Like, for example, in Los Angeles, right now you got to pay like $400, $500 per square foot for homes. But depending on where you are, some commercial property, you can still get it for around $200 per square foot. So that's probably the same case in many places. You can pay like maybe half of the price for the commercial property compared to how much you pay for the residential property. Dose, yeah, chopsticks. And the commercial property is less competitive because not many people are looking at it. So potentially you have a better chance of getting a better deal than a home, especially nowadays, because everybody's looking at the homes. Jonah Bill, welcome. Right, Zachary? Yes. And also, if you're gonna use portion of the building, you can buy a commercial real estate for 10% down. Like you see a lot of the Motel 6 that's owned by the Indians. To buy a motel, you only need 10% down if you're the owner, if you're the manager. Also for any other property, warehouse, retail spaces, offices. As long as you occupy 50% of the property, you can buy it with 10% down. Use the SBA loan. Okay, so student loan, Sugar Bear. You had a student loan 21 years ago for $19,000. Just negotiate with them to reduce the amount. Let's say if they agree for you to pay like $9,000 to take it off the book, then maybe you want to do that. Commercial property depends. There are some like mixed use properties that's considered commercial too. For example, Kate Carter. For example, let's say I was actually looking at a property in Las Vegas. It's I think $3.2 million. It's about 18,000 square foot. It has 3 floors. The first floor is retail space. Second floor is office building, office space, and third floor is apartments. So there are many mixed use properties. For the mixed use properties, then you can live there. But there are also commercial properties that has a shower. Technically, you cannot live there, but some people they still do, as long as nobody writes you out. Did I answer your question, Kate Carter? Sugar Bear, thanks for the question. Thanks for the compliment. Zachary, currently I'm working on reducing my mortgage and increasing my savings. Well, research local property. Where are you located again? I forgot. Yeah, so I sold a office in San Pedro before. It was a medical office. It had like a whole bunch of rooms. It was like about 3,500 square foot. It had like 20 offices. So each office, they have a bathroom. So the city shut it down because the landlord, when he leased to the tenants was using the office as an apartment. So the fire department came and shut down the place. Then the owner vacated all the tenants and removed all the shower. And it became empty. So I helped him sold it to some other buyers. So Zachary, currently I'm working on reducing my mortgage and increasing my savings. What do you mean? What do you mean by reducing your mortgage and increasing your savings? What do you mean by that? Yolala, welcome. You're Zachary. You're from Danville, Virginia. Yeah, I'm sure there is deals to be found, especially if you're willing to go a little bit more further away from the metro area, downtown area. Why everything gonna be blockchain soon? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about crypto? PA. I mean Los Angeles, California. Sorry, it's getting hot. I already had the wonton soup. Already finished it. That's my breakfast. So I'm gonna have a dinner like around maybe 3 or 4 p.m. The weather's getting hot. Paying off home mortgage so I have more leverage. Okay. Why are you doing that? If you have the how mortgage just save the money and buy another property. Why do you want to put the money into the mortgage and refinance and get the money now? Because there's going to be cost for you to refinance. Saving cash? Who's saving cash? I'm not saving cash. Hello, Yolala. Good day. Okay, pay it. You're in Long Beach. Okay, I'm nearby Freeway 10. I'm in West Covina. Why are we putting money in the bank? Yeah, do not put money in the bank. The inflation is crazy. No, I didn't make the wonton. I just bought the wonton from the markets. It's already made. They have it for sale in Costco too. The wonton in Costco comes with the bowl. It has wonton noodles inside. It takes 2 minutes for you to cook. I think it's like $2 or $3 per bowl. But I buy my wonton from there's a couple Asian market. It comes in a bag, like 30 pieces or 20 some pieces. Put it in real estate. Don't put the money in the bank. Put it in real estate. That's that's easy to cook. The wonton is already made. You don't have to make it. Gary James, thank you. Welcome. Okay, follow me. Follow my TikTok. Give me some likes. Whatever question you have, we can talk about it. Could be real estate, finances, how to get money, how to get deals. ASAP, AHSAN. Welcome. Thanks for the like. Kate Carter. Thanks for the like. Heidi. Welcome. Thanks for the like. Do you think our money is safe in the bank? No, your money is not safe. The inflation is crazy. The inflation is not 7%. Let's say if you had $10,000 3 years ago, and if you kept the money there, today, 3 years later, what you can buy with that $10,000 is same as if it's $5,000. Just look at how much the real estate prices has increased. The real estate prices has increased at least 30%, 20 to 30% during the last 12 months. It's not about whether the money is safe or not. It's the inflation. Website to search for commercial real estate, Crexi, CREXI.com, and also LoopNet. For multifamily property, you can search on Realtor.com or Zillow.com, multifamily. Socrates, I live in Stockton and my sister just bought a new home in Westlake. That's cheap, huh? I thought Westlake is expensive. You can still get a new home for $800,000 in Westlake. That's a pretty good price. Yes, purchase real estate. Do not leave your money in the bank. Just imagine, okay? Imagine. If you have $500,000 3 years ago, if you had bought a home back then, you could afford that same home. But 3 years now, forward 3 years later to today, that same $500,000, you cannot buy that same home. Today, to buy that same home from 3 years ago, you need $800,000. Yeah, there's a lot of corporations buying the homes too. No, money is not safe in the bank. It's not about whether it's safe or not. It's the inflation is too crazy. Okay, let's say if you have $500,000, $500K 3 years ago, okay? Not even 3 years ago, just in 2 years ago, 2020. Let's say in 2020, you had $500K, right? Back then, you can buy a home that's maybe a 1,500 square foot. Back then, you can buy a 1,500 square foot home for $500K in 2020. Today, in 2022, with that same $500K money, you can no longer afford that 1,500 square foot home. Today, that same 1,500 square foot home costs $800,000. Cynthia, welcome. Did I answer your question? NGADHIYA. So It's not about whether your money is safe or not. It's the inflation that's so crazy. A good site to look for homes, just all those real estate websites, Realtor.com, Zillow.com, Redfin, whatever. There's a lot. Young R3, welcome. So do not put your money in the bank. That's why I kept saying, as soon as you have 5%, as soon as you can afford to buy a home, buy it. Don't Navy smile. Are you from the Navy? Welcome. Step forward. Welcome. Don't worry about whether you can afford a mortgage or not. Just buy it. If you cannot afford a mortgage, just lease out. Just lease out a room, 2 room, to help you to pay for the mortgage. Right now the rent is crazy because I have an extra room in my home I'm not using. So I did a search on how much the 1 bedroom is gonna cost. Nowadays in most places in Los Angeles, a 1 bedroom is gonna cost you at least anywhere from $1,200 to $3,000 for 1 bedroom. The rent is crazy. Yolala, how much money is needed for down payment for a small commercial building? Depending on what you buy. So there's 2 questions, right? So do you have a place to live? If you don't have a place to live, then just buy your place. If it's too expensive, it doesn't make sense, maybe you can lease. How much money you need for commercial property is depending on how much you're gonna buy. For example, let's say if you're gonna buy a $1 million commercial property, you probably need at least $200K. If you're gonna buy a $500K commercial property, you might need at least enough. For commercial property, you cannot do 3 to 5%. For commercial, hold on, let me cut off the phone. For commercial property, you need at least 10%, I think, minimum, 10 to 20%. So for 500K, you need 100K down, 100K down payment. PA said, would it be wise to purchase home out of state since it's cheaper out of state? Yes. So definitely for investment, buy out of state. But you say you're from Long Beach, right? There are actually some homes in Long Beach that are pretty cheap. The last time I checked, you can still buy some commercial property or multi-unit property for around $200 per square foot. So Long Beach is still okay. Yeah, so if you already have your own home, you can take the money now, put the cash out, put the equity out, and invest in out of state. You don't have to buy here. You can buy commercial real estate out of state. Sammy, Hannah, welcome. Hey, GUAC, welcome. Matthew Brookins, welcome. So for the people that you already have a home here and you already have equity in your home, you can pull it out and invest in commercial real estate out of state. Because usually if you look hard enough, you can find something that has a really good return. For example, if you can get something that's with a 10% return, then the income you get from the property will be able to cover your mortgage for the refinance too. GUAC. I'm planning to buy a home. Any advice? Okay, Cowboy, live where you want and invest where it makes sense. Correct. Yeah. So you don't have to live where you invest. For example, right now I'm living in Los Angeles, but I'm not going to invest in Los Angeles because the return is too low. Doesn't matter if it's residential or commercial. Okay, GUAC, I'm planning to buy a home. Any advice? Advice? Save money for down payment, repair your credit, buy a home as soon as you are able to. Dimple 1, welcome. We're gonna stay on till 1 p.m. Okay, right now it's 12:46. Did I answer your question, guys, ladies? and gentlemen? So the problem with a lot of people is they kept putting off the investment action. They kept putting off investment. American comedian, welcome. So that's the problem with most people. They get busy with work, they get busy with family. They kept putting the investment to the back burner. Don't do that. You want to block out a time every week, especially designed for investment. For example, every week I'm gonna allocate 4 hours to work on investment. It could be anything. It could be calling the agents. It could be looking for deals online. It could be making offers. It could be fix your credit. It could be, any block out 4 hours every week, or 8 hours, whatever that you're comfortable with. Focus on investment. You could look at all the deals online. You could evaluate each deals. Take out the time each week to do that. So once you make a habit of it, then you're gonna be less worried. You're gonna be more comfortable with the risk, and it's gonna be much easier for you to pull the trigger. Okay, you want to buy as soon as possible, because if you keep the money in the bank, it's very easy for you to spend it. Once you spend it, you're gonna run out of the down payment again, and also the inflation is crazy. Like I said earlier, right? The house that you can buy was a 500K 2 years ago. If you try to buy that same house 2 years later, it's gonna cost you 800K. So the inflation. So the longer you put it off, the less of the home you can afford with the same amount of money. Yeah, so a lot of times if you really do the job, if you really research, then there's not much risk. As long as you understand it, as long as you understand the risk, then you can minimize the risk. Okay, I'm not sure if there's a housing bubble. I'm not sure when it's gonna pop. That's why I kept telling people, don't try to time the market, just buy it. Because let me tell you this, the rich people never sell real estate. Once you buy it, as long as you don't sell, what's gonna change the market it doesn't matter to you. If you have to sell, of course, then you're gonna lose money. But as long as you buy it, you don't sell, then whether the market will pop or not is irrelevant. The key is you want to get into a home as soon as possible. You want to buy as many real estate as soon as possible. As long as you don't sell, you never sell, then it doesn't matter if the market is gonna pop or not. Don't try to time the market. Okay, a lot of people, they try to, I have this friend, he's a CPA. He has 300K sitting in his bank. And he's always watching, interest rate's too high, price is too high. And 3 years later, he still didn't buy. But that same $300,000 is now only worth $200,000 or $100,000, because he can, the size of the home he can afford is dwindling down to nothing. Hello, Linda, welcome. Colorado is nice. It's but if you haven't bought your own home yet, try to buy your own home first, because once you buy your own home, number one, you're gonna save the rent. Number two, you can accumulate equity. But if where you're living, if the home price is too expensive, let's say it's gonna cost you $1 million to buy that home that you're gonna live in, versus if you only need to pay $1,500 or $2,000 for the rent, then maybe you're just gonna rent. But overall, it's still better to buy your own home first, because that way you can save money on rent, and you can enjoy that accumulation in the equity. Another option you can do, you can buy 2 units, 3 units, 4 units. That way, the rent from the tenant can help you to pay for the mortgage. Why do you want to move to Colorado? So for the past couple weeks, couple months, I've been traveling to many states, to Florida, Texas, Georgia, because I was thinking about eventually maybe moving out of state. But now I think if I do move out of state, I'm probably gonna go to Las Vegas, because it's the closest to California. Also because I have relatives here in California. Florida's nice, but it's kind of far. The travel is kind of more. It takes a little bit more effort to travel. Texas is nice, but what I do not like about Texas is the high property tax. It's usually like 2.5 to 3% property tax. Wei Jian, welcome. Yeah, GUAC. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Vegas or Florida? Lorm Milk, Filipino Heat, welcome. Lorm Luke, welcome. Lori Luke, welcome. Colorado, yeah, Colorado is pretty nice, yeah, but the price in Colorado is getting expensive. If I'm gonna move someplace and if the price is the same, I don't think I'm gonna move because it doesn't change much. The reason, I don't know if you're aware, 20% of the population in Nevada are from California, because the homes prices over there are so much cheaper than California, even nowadays. Although the price has increased so much, but it's still a little bit cheaper than California. Oh, what's your question? Sorry, I didn't see it. Let me see. Can you say that question again? Okay. What is the home value of your primary house? Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see it. The primary value of my primary home, I bought it for $600K. I bought it for $600K, and I think now it's close to $1 million. I bought it for $600K and I put in $100K to remodel. When I bought it, it was a dump. It was the inside is not very nice. So I remodeled everything. I remodeled the kitchen, remodeled all the bathroom, and remodeled the whole thing. Reverse Sing. Did I answer your question? Juicy Box, welcome. See, that's what I'm talking about. If you don't buy the home, if you put money in the bank, the type of homes, the size of home you can afford, 3 years ago versus the home you can afford 3 years later is so much different. Abisha, welcome. NGAD, welcome. So here's the thing, right? Once you buy a home, the equity is going to increase. You can pull out some money, and you can use that money to invest in out of state. If you invest out of state, let's say if you pull out the money with a 5% interest rate, let's say if you can find an investment property out of state for 10% cap rate, then you can make that 5% difference on the from the cap rate and the interest. So right now, during the past years, I bought and sold different homes, different properties. I shouldn't have sold those properties because the value came up so much. So right now, I just own a home and I own a 37 units mobile home park. But I'm looking to buy one more. So as I shared with you guys before. So my goal for 2022 is get my monthly passive income to 30 grand. Right now I have 10 grand passive income, so I need to add 20 more K to achieve the 30K monthly passive income goal this year. Coin laundry, that's a good business. I heard about it. So that's another option, right? Because the real estate is kind of relatively more expensive compared to business, because not everybody is looking to purchase business. If you can find a good business, the returns usually higher than real estate investment. GUAC. For my day job, I have a real estate brokerage business. So all my business is related to real estate. Also, now I'm starting to do coaching, training agents. So I have a course called 10 Listing in 10 Weeks Challenge. So I have about almost 30 students now. So I just finished the second last course today. So next week we're gonna finish the last course. It's a 10-week course. So once that's finished, I'm gonna package it, because I recorded each course. I'm gonna package it into a course to sell online. But that's a relatively newer business. But all my business is related to real estate. Real estate sales, real estate training, real estate investment. You do not want to keep studying over and over. ideally you want to stay in the same industry. That way you can accumulate the experience. For example, like although I have a couple of different business, but they're all related to real estate. That way I can borrow the experience I have accumulated, right? So that way I'm not wasting any of those time that I spent on real estate before. Sky Ken. Yeah, you can DM me. I'll follow you too. So now I'm almost finishing a course. I'm gonna be finishing a course on how to become a millionaire listing agent. I'm probably gonna do another course on how to invest in real estate out of state, or how to invest in mobile home park. So training is very important. So when I first started selling real estate, I wasn't making a lot of money. I was struggling for a long time. It's not until I got a coach, I paid money to study in a course, then I learned some new ideas, I learned some new skills, I learned some new techniques, then my income started to increase. Here's the thing, right? If you're trying to figure out everything on your own, it's gonna take you a long time. But if you just copy whoever has already done this successfully, you're essentially paying that money to save time. Let's say if I try to figure out on my own how to make $1 million, and it's gonna take me 30 years, versus if I can pay somebody $30,000, $50,000 to figure it out in 3 to 5 years, I would pay that money, which is what I did. Basically, I'm saving myself, 10, 20, 30 years of time. So Sky Ken, I already added you. Okay, I already follow you. You kind of follow me. Okay. Hassan, oh, that's just one time. I was just eating one time earlier, and some lady asked me about a risk, how to assess risk. So I figured I make that a topic of the day. My goal with TikTok, that's actually one of my goals. So I changed my goals. So in the beginning of the year, I had a whole bunch of goals. I want to build a website. I want to sell 50 homes, this and that. So yesterday I narrowed down my goals. Come down to two things. One is the one I just mentioned to you earlier, which is reach 30K passive income before 2022. Another one is to grow 500K followers on TikTok before 2022. So for the TikTok, I tried to grow my YouTube account before for a long time, but it didn't go anywhere because before I was very close-minded. I wasn't very open. I wasn't sharing a lot of stuff. So now I completely changed my strategy. So now I'm sharing everything, everything, my secret sauce, whatever I know, because let's face it, right? Nothing you have is yours. It's all temporary. I talked about this in another session before too. Doesn't matter if it's your look, if it's your body, if it's your house, if it's your car, if it's your money, everything is temporary. So there's no sense holding back. It's not yours anyway. You're only the manager of it. You're only managing what you have. So my goal is to share everything I know, anything I know on TikTok. Before I was worried, like what if I share and somebody take my secret sauce and become my competition? Now I don't really care about that anymore. Because I'm 45 years old now. So I tried very hard, to do better, to make more money, to become more successful. And there was a time I meet a plateau. Then I'm thinking to myself, if I cannot become better, if I cannot improve, then I have to do something different. Because what's the definition of insanity? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. So I'm just trying different things, to have, because I'm 45 and my mom is 85. So I really wanted to have a quantum leap within the next 5 years. So if I wanted to have a quantum leap within the next 5 years, that means I have to do something drastically different from what I was doing before for the past 30 years. So I'm trying different stuff. I'm also learning, online on YouTube, and this one guy on YouTube, this one YouTuber, he said something that really resonated with me, which is about sharing. So I heard about that talk about sharing. At the time, I didn't get it. At the time, I just have this idea because he was talking about sharing. So I didn't understand exactly what that means, but I'm thinking to myself, maybe I should give it a try. So that's what I did. So once I started doing TikTok, I started sharing everything. And because before I was sharing, but I was withholding my secret sauce. And actually, another YouTuber or somebody on TikTok, he talked about the same thing. He was saying, "Oh, I used to hold off keep all my secret sauce to myself because I was worried about the competition." Then that really clicked. That really made an impression on me too. So I said to myself, then why don't I try that too? Forget about keeping your secret sauce. Just tell everybody, share everything with everybody. Then I did that, and it's really made a big difference. And also, so basically, right now I'm 45, so I'm trying to speed up my progress, right? So I'm trying to do everything differently from what I was doing before when I was younger. And also when I was younger, I was also very close. I'm not open. I don't share people with my problem. I don't share with people my family problem. I don't share with people my struggles. And because back then because my parents, they always tell me, hey, you gotta be careful, you gotta watch out for people. So I tried to keep everything to myself. But a lot of times when you're behaving that way, it's like you're like the video I made, right? It's like you're feeling like you were on an island, right, all by yourself. But since I started opening up, I made that video. I had one video that had a lot of views, like I think almost 500K views. I started sharing my problems, my struggles. Then I'm so overwhelmed with all the people giving me compassion, all the people giving me suggestions, all the people they're really helping me out. So I'm very happy I made these changes about opening up more, about sharing more, and it really made a big difference. Did I answer your question? GUAC. Thanks for the roses. Thanks for the like. Queen Yaya, welcome. Yeah, so here's the thing, right? The problem a lot of people have is when I was younger, I had that problem too. Hey, thanks for the happy faces, Queenie. So when I was younger, I think I was really selfish. Because I'm the youngest in the family. So I was always thinking about myself, what can I get? What do I get? I was always thinking about that. But when you have that kind of mentality, it's very hard to function in this world. Because then if you're selfish, then you always think about it as yourself. Then if all you're thinking about is yourself, you're not going to be able to function very well. Then let me give you an example. So sometimes when I go eat with other people, right? So most people, they try to eat the biggest pieces. They try to eat the most food because that's human nature, right? Then what I do is I wait until the last. I let everybody eat first. In my mind, it's actually better for my health. The less I eat, the more healthy I am. If I eat too much, then I'm not healthy. So I let everybody else eat first. So it's the same thing. So when I'm interacting with client, I try to give first, right? I ask them, what do you want? What's important for you? What are you trying to achieve? So you try to give first. It's the same thing like when I'm sharing on TikTok. So I don't know if any of you guys are doing this, you can try it. If you if you shift your mentality, not to come from a selfish perspective, if you come from a giving perspective, your life will change. Because like they say, right, the size of the hole on how much you receive is the same size of the hole on how much you're gonna give out. Thank you, GUAC, thank you. Samuel Campy, welcome. Marima, welcome. Michael Ray, welcome. Wow, it's already 1 o'clock. Once you talk, the time just flies. Okay, so we're gonna stay on for 4 more minutes until 1:10, okay? Thank you for the compliment, Samuel Campy. Now it's 6+1. Okay, follow my TikTok, give me some likes. Whatever question you have, we can talk about it. Let me know where you're from. I'm from Los Angeles, California. So a lot of times about the mindset is so important to have the right mindset. If you have the right mindset, you're gonna go places. What I see that a lot of times people are stuck is because of the mindset. When you have the wrong mindset, you're not gonna be able to change. Your life is not gonna get better. The fastest way to improve your life is to change your mindset, to have the right mindset. Oh, Samuel Campy, you're from Hawaii. Which island? Which island are you from? I have never been to Hawaii. Last time I was gonna go during the pandemic, but they require a whole bunch of COVID tests, so I didn't go. Oahu, is that's the biggest island, right? Oahu. I actually tried to look for a property to buy in Hawaii too. Actually, on some of the big islands, the real estate is not that expensive. I looked some nice properties. They're like around 500K, 700K. Some have views too. Whatever you think, check out the book. Whatever you think opposite by Paul Arden. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, just like what Dr. Seuss said, right? Dr. Seuss, he said, think left, think right, think top, think down, think right, whatever. Just you gotta figure out different ways. Yeah. Yeah, Oahu. I actually tried to look for a property on the island before. Because I also look at the Honolulu. Seems like the real estate on Honolulu is really expensive. But some of the other islands, the real estate is much cheaper. Oh, okay, you're a real estate agent there. Okay. There's not many real estate agents in Hawaii, right? Seems like people are more laid back in Hawaii. Paul Arden, I'm gonna have to remember that. Usually here's another thing. Usually if it's a good book, I just buy it. Sometimes even if I don't read it, I buy it. But I usually buy a book from audible.com. I listen to the books. Hello.
Going for you guys ready?
Good, yeah.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Okay, I just have a package arrived. You guys want to guess what I got? Anyone want to guess? Take a guess. What's the package? We live by the law of aloha, which involves giving good energy and love outwards and receive back. That's awesome. Yeah. Anyone want to take a guess what I got? That's great. Yeah. So Samuel said, we live by the law of aloha, which involves giving good energy and love outwards and receive back. Yeah. I got a folding Ray-Ban, a traveling sunglasses. It's pretty nice because sometimes I have a lot of sunglasses, but it's hard to put them in a small case. I mean, a luggage. Sometimes maybe they're gonna bend out of shape. So that's why I bought the folding sunglasses. It's actually very nice. I tried it over there. So I'm gonna take out the this is the cloth to clean the sunglasses. I saw it, so it come in a case. You see how small it is, right? So this is easy for travel because I travel quite often, and sometimes you really do need the sunglasses. So that's why I bought it. Reversing. I speak Mandarin, I speak Cantonese, and I speak English. That's all the language I speak. So Mandarin and Cantonese, they're like a different version of the dialogue, of the Chinese dialogue. Yeah, so I speak Mandarin and Cantonese too. Okay, let's check it out. It's a folding sunglasses. You see, it's tiny, and it's pretty. It's got the lens is green, so it looks. When you look through the lens, it's actually. So I'm gonna show you how I unfold. So you can fold it, right, and then you can unfold it. Let me put away the case. So this way, when I'm traveling, when I'm not using it, I can put it in the case, fold it up, put it in the case. When I need to use it, I can just open it up and put it on. Pretty good. I gotta remove the sticker. Yeah, when you look outside, it's the lens is green, so that's pretty good. Thank you, Denise. Thank you. Yeah, it's actually very nice. It's the good thing I like about it is you can fold it up, easy to carry. That way it's not gonna be bent. Cause I used to have another sunglasses. When I try to stuff it into the in the fanny pack, it might get bent. Thank you. Okay, guys. Right now it's 1:13. I'm gonna give it 2 more minutes. Then I'm gonna log off. Let me see if I can put it back into the case. Any more questions? We're gonna give it 2 more minutes. Well, it's actually pretty nice. It's you can fit the cloth inside too. The case has a magnetic closure. My focus is when I first started, I wanted to focus on real estate. It's primarily anything having to do with real estate. Then I figured I found out seems like a lot of people have some other concerns in life too. So before the description I had before was top real estate secrets. No, top secrets from real estate investor and real estate agents. Then now I changed it to real estate secrets and life. Hey Shaggy, my family is good. Thank you for asking. So right now, what I focus on TikTok is obviously still real estate, but also anything have to do with life. My mentor, I had so many mentors. So I spent I spent Samuel. Wow, you are what? I had so many different mentors throughout the time. I had paid money for business mentor. I have paid money for Tony Robbins. I have paid money for Craig Proctor, which is a real estate mentor. Usually when you go inside, they have this tier, right? For example, Tony Robbins, you go to the Unleash the Power of Within. That's cheap. That's 3 days for $400, $300. Then they have some other higher course, for example, business mastery, life mastery. That's gonna be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. Yeah, so I've been through many of the different mentorship. Overall, I think I probably spend maybe close to 200K, maybe anywhere from 100K to 200K for all the mentors I paid for before. It's worth it because you might think that's my phone's running out of battery. Okay, I'm gonna stay till 1:20. I'll finish this topic. So you might think, wow, 100K, 200K, that's a lot of money. But what had happened is that once I pay for the mentorship, once I learn something new, once I change my mindset, then I'm able to make more money, even more money. And also it helped me to make more money faster. Yeah, tiny houses, affordable living, there's a lot of demand for that. Yeah, like the mobile home park. Samuel, yeah, you're a real estate consultant. Yeah. GUAC, was it worth it? Yeah, I mean, it's always worth it. Even if it's legit, if the mentor is legit, if the mentor or the coach, really know what they're talking about, it's gonna definitely help you. Okay, if you pay for my tiny houses, I'll build one beside it and you can visit. Okay. Okay, GUAC. Alright, okay, I'll do that. Make a TikTok video about how much you spend on this mentorship program. Okay, I will. Okay, thank you guys. Follow my TikTok, give me some likes. Whatever question you have, we can talk about it. Here's the thing, right? If you look at all those top athletes, Tiger Woods, Mike Tyson, all those top athletes, everybody have a coach. Because sometimes it's not easy to look at ourselves from inside. Sometimes when you have somebody, another set of eyes, maybe they can give you a more, a more objective opinion of you. So that's one of the reasons you want to get a mentor too. Mielke Martinez, welcome. Woody Coben, welcome. Young, welcome. Yeah. So let's give it 2 more minutes. Any other questions, guys? By the way, I'm doing my laundry too. I gotta go pick up my laundry. Sammy Hannah, welcome. So if nothing else, I'm gonna log off. It's 1:19, and okay, Janice, what do you need help with? What do you need help with, Janice? What's your problem? What problem do you have you want to talk about? See you reversing. Janice, what question do you have? Rebate, welcome. Buying we can layer. What do you mean? Buying we can layer. What do you mean by that? I don't understand your question, Janice. How much down is needed for income property? If you can buy 2 units, 3 units, or 4 units, you might qualify for the FHA loan. If you qualify for the FHA loan, it's 3 to 5% down. Yoyala, did I answer your question? You have the money, right? I remember you said you have equity in your home. You can take that money out and use it as a down payment. Paul Arden, yeah, I'll look it up. Craig Solis, welcome. Janice, I don't understand your question. What do you mean by buying weekend layer? Because Yoyala, here's the situation. If you have all this equity sitting in your home, and if you're not doing anything with it, you're just wasting time and wasting money. Do you have any feedback on Carrington mortgage loan modification? I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that. Buying a home, Janice, buying a home, but we can talk later. All right, okay. So direct DM me, okay? So I'll follow you, you follow me, okay? Okay, Yoyala, well, very nice of you. You just bought a second home for your daughter to live in. Does she pay the rent? Who's carrying the mortgage? Who's paying the mortgage? So here, okay, Agent Pepper, welcome. So the best option, if you're gonna buy for everyone in here, if you're gonna buy something for your kids for them to live in, it's better to buy like a multi-unit. That way you don't have to pay the mortgage every month. Let's say if you buy a 4-unit, they can live in 1 unit, and 3 units, the rent income from the 3 units can pay for the mortgage. So she's paying the rent. Okay. Another way you can do it, buy a 4-unit, have 3 other tenants to pay for the mortgage. That way your daughter does not need to pay the mortgage. But you can have her act as a manager to manage the property. Yeah, you shouldn't be paying the payment. So what you should do is sell that property and buy multi-units. That way you don't have to pay, she doesn't have to pay, the tenant pay. And just have her manage it. If you're gonna buy it and you're not living in there and you're paying the mortgage, although it's partial, but that's still a burden. Top secret account. Suzanne Banks, welcome. Yeah, right? If you're gonna buy single family homes, she's the only person that's living here. Nobody's paying the mortgage. You gotta pay, she's gotta pay. If you buy a 3-unit, 4-unit, then 3 other tenants gonna pay for the mortgage, and you can just make her manage the property. Okay, Samuel, I have long-term tenants who I like, but I need to raise the rent. Any advice on how to do that? Okay, so that's a double-edged sword, right? Some people I know, they don't like to increase the rent because they would rather have a stable tenant. If the rent you charge is not too much lower than the market, then just leave it as is, because that way you don't have to go through the hassle of looking for new tenant. You don't have to go through the hassle of redo the property and upgrade the property. Let's say if there's a big discrepancy on the rent, then number one option is you ask them to increase the rent. But at least the best way to increase rent is to increase the rent every year. So if you increase the rent every year, then they will be accustomed to it. They're expecting it. Let's say if you do not increase rent for 5 years, and at year 5 you try to increase the rent, they're gonna get pissed off. Also, if you increase a little bit, then that doesn't make a big difference. If you increase a lot, they cannot afford it. So you should always increase rent every year. Okay. So let's say if you cannot increase rent, then there's no other option. Let's say if the market rent is 2,000, and if you only charge them 1,000, then you gotta ask them to increase rent. The best way is to increase, because you cannot really increase too much. Usually, I think increase the rent by 5% a year. That's pretty reasonable. If they don't agree to increase rent, then the only option you have is to get a new tenant. To sell the home, okay. To sell the home, it's you gotta pay for the commission, and you gotta pay for the cost of selling the home. Usually in America, the seller pay for both the seller and the buyer commission. Yeah, we can talk about more. Yeah, if you can follow my TikTok, okay. They pay, okay, Samuel, they pay 2,000 a month and the market rent is 27. Okay, that's not too bad. So what you do is you just starting from now, you're gonna raise rent every year, raise $100 a year or something like that. For example, the mobile home park I bought, when I bought it, the owner hasn't raised rent in like 20 years. It was like $500 below market. So after I bought it, I started raising rent, and I just raised $20. So after I raised $20 for 5 years, that's a total of $100 rent raise. Hello from Atlanta, welcome, Miss Spooky. I'm gonna be in Atlanta in the next couple weeks. Okay, your Lala, your profit. Yeah, you're not gonna make a profit, but the problem right now is you don't have an asset. The way you're planning to own this second property right now is a liability, because money is not coming in, money is going out. But if you sell it, if you buy a multi-unit, then not only you don't have to pay for the mortgage, your daughter don't have to pay the mortgage, and the tenant may pay the mortgage, and you might be able to get some money back. So once you own a rental property, it becomes a asset. But if you own a single family, it becomes a liability. So basically, you can look at it this way. So if you buy a 4-unit and you have your daughter living in it, so basically she's more like a tenant, right? She's a tenant for your property, except that she didn't pay you. Maybe she can pay you by acting as your manager, and the other 3 tenants will pay you to cover the entire mortgage expense, and also there's probably still some money left for to go into your pocket. So here's 2 things, right? Usually when people invest in real estate, for 2 reasons, right? Either cash flow or capital gain. So where is this second home located? Because nowadays it doesn't matter where it is now. If you bought it recently, if you bought the property recently, there's not much likelihood of the price is gonna go much more. So that means if you're going after appreciation, there's probably not gonna be too much appreciation. But the problem is with your second home right now is you don't have the cash flow. It's not an asset, it's a liability, because you're forking out money every month. But if you sell that and if you change it, at least you're not losing money. If you sell that and if you change it into a multi-unit, then suddenly that liability becomes your asset. Then you're no longer forking out money every month, but you have income coming in every month. Okay, Lake optional. Okay, yeah. So what do you think, Yolala? What do you think about the suggestion? Kate Carter, thanks for the likes. Yeah, I mean, so Samuel, I was thinking of raising the rent to 22 months, which is 10% increase. 10% is too much. 10% is too much. Okay, let's say if the total rent is really low, like in my situation, because I own the mobile home park, because the mobile home rent is low, right? Because it's only because before they were only paying like less than $300. So I can afford to raise $20 because they haven't raised the price owner hasn't raised the rent in many years. But I mean, it's your call. If they can accept it, then by all means. But usually, try to do it incrementally. If you can look at it this way, if you can raise $100 a year, by 5 years later, it's gonna become $2,500. If you're gonna raise $200 at once, I don't think you can raise $200 every year. That's too much. If you raise $100 each year, that's maybe okay. So the key is you want to make it. You want to make it into a habit. You want to build that expectation in. That way, every year they have this expectation. Okay, this year the rent is gonna go up $100. They're prepared for it. Yes. Maybe you can do a $200 increase this year if they can take it, and then you can tell them, hey, this year is going to be $200, but but next year it's not going to be that much, because let's say if you raise $200 this year, they're going to get freaked out. They're going to think, oh, are you going to raise $200 again next year? Then maybe they're going to think about moving out. Tracy, welcome. Okay, thanks guys. It's 1:30. So thank you for all the questions. Follow my TikTok, give me some likes. Thank you for all the likes and all the compliments and all the questions. We'll talk again next time, okay? And for Yoyola, we can talk more about your planning. Okay, sorry, there's one more question. Hostess, I inherited $100,000. I was thinking about purchasing a townhome or condo in Vegas. Is that a good idea? Okay, I'm gonna stay on and answer this question. Hostess, where are you located? Are you planning to buy that home to live in it, or are you trying to buy the property as a rental income property? What's your goal? Okay, in West Covina. Okay, so do you own your home in West Covina? Okay, you want to buy it as rental. With $100,000, Las Vegas is a good idea. By the way, I'm in West Covina too. So with 100K, you should buy multi-units, not a condo, not a townhouse. Because when you buy a condo or townhouse, the HOA fee is too expensive. And also there's a lot of restrictions. You can buy a 4 units, 5 units, 3 units, because that's enough money. Well, I think with 500K, you can buy a 4 unit at least. So you can put 100K as down payment, buy the 4 unit. Actually, 4 unit, 400K, maybe even more. Maybe with 100K, 110K, maybe you can buy 2 4 units, and then just collect rent. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get off now. Did I answer your question, hostess? Yeah, you can buy multi-units, but in California, the return is very low. It's very expensive. So Las Vegas is a good option. Samuel, thanks for sharing the live video. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna log off now, and I'll chat with you guys another time. Okay. Thank you for joining.